right, guys, joining me at this time is probably arguably the most talented amateur fighter that I've ever interviewed before. The 20-3 phenom, Mr. Black Lightning, Johnson Nasona. How you doing today, man?
Doing fairly well. I mean, besides the few body aches I have, I'm feeling mentally prepared, mentally happy, and just enjoyment within life in itself.
You have a fight here coming up in what, about 6, 7 days? You are defending your 155-pound title in Billings, Montana, going against a hometown kid, man. How do you feel about that?
It's nothing different. It's just another fight, you know. I've had so many amateur fights, and it's just like I don't know, go in there, show my skills, show what I've learned and what I've grown, and then give it my all and see. Of course, within this fight, with hoping to take it on to the next level, and it's all amateur events. It's just honing on your skills and not being afraid of either a loss or a win, because either way, you do win if you see your improvements and see where you need to go. So I'm just happy to step back in. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. It's been a crazy time with the pandemic. It's been really hard to find amateur fights. Was there a point in time where you're like, hey, maybe I should just go turn pro?
Not really, because I mean, I trust my coach's advice overall. Throughout this whole little pandemic thing, I've learned to build myself as a whole, as an individual. I guess built myself a little company to run by itself, and got a whole bunch of employees, and I can start focusing a little bit more on my fighting and start driving all my energy into one thing, and also having something else sustaining my personal life and keeping that almost separately but together, so I don't have my personal life and emotions and things that are impacted with that affect my MMA career. And then, well, it's a lot of times, I mean, it's all a mental thing, right? You
No,
don't
for
have your life
sure.
as a whole, you can't really be the best as you can. Is that the case as well?
How do you balance everything?
I read a lot and I write a lot. I wake up in the morning, I have a lot of just stoic books, I guess, within Ryan Holiday. I read a lot of his stuff, and then Jordan Peterson within just his general understanding or basis of, he has like his 12 rules of life. I mean, the biggest one that I feel that I like that I read yesterday. It's one concept that says treat yourself as you treat a patient, or treat yourself as you treat someone that you're taking care of.
Mhm.
Because he uses this thing where he states, if you are prescribed medication that you're supposed to take to keep yourself healthy, you're less likely to take that medication every single day, because you start to make excuses about when or what time, or I can't take it because of this, that, and this. But if you have somebody else as a friend or a family member or a loved one that has a sickness and you're taking care of them, you start to get irritated and ask them why they're not taking their medication. It's that easy. It's
Right.
that simple. So he states, treat yourself as that person you're trying to take care of. So within all those other, I can't do this now, or this or that, yes, you can. There should be no excuse for you not to get up and go for a run. There should be no excuse for you not to get up and do this as positive for yourself in life.
And how's it been for you? Obviously, we've all been in the middle of a pandemic right now. How's it been for you to be able to train during all this? Have you, been able to find training partners and access to everything that you need to have access to?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't really been that difficult because I still have my main training groups or the core
Hmm.
groups that are here. And on top of that, it's just learning how to work with yourself, which is just hitting the bag. A lot of things that a lot of people are not really don't really enjoy, because it's almost mindless and boring to that extent until you find the inner enjoyment of it. To start critiquing your own skills within either video cameras, recording your movements on the bag, and practicing those, getting those repetitions in, and then taking that outwards within my little core group that we have, and training with them 2, 3 times a week or so, and then getting my other 4 or 5 hours or so on the bag. So it's just kind of how it's been a transition into being able to work with myself and getting those things that I need, and also asking the right questions from my coach on things that I don't have the answers to.
So you almost pretty much like, worked yourself in this position to where you could take care of yourself no matter what, no matter if it's a pandemic going on, what it is, you can find and critique what you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's only an end if you let it be an end, right? There might
Exactly.
be a wall, but you can get over the wall. Just gotta figure out a way.
Going into Billings, man, you've had quite a reputation out there. You've won plenty of fights out there. What is it going to take to get over one more hometown boy?
I don't know, just my pure smile and enjoyment, right?
Have you guys looked at all at your opponent, Mikey?
Not really. My coach has this thing as an amateur. If you want to turn pro, you should be able to get up off your couch and go beat up any amateur.
Makes sense. Makes sense. How do you feel about that? You feel like you're just gonna. How do you feel like you're gonna win this fight?
I mean, honestly, it's just like every fight. It's each step of the way is going to play its course.
Mm-hmm.
My game plan is to go in there and feel them out, see what's going on, throw some strikes, give my feints, my fakes, double leg if the opportunity gives, and ultimately let that progression flow. I don't have like a true dire 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, 6
Right.
sort of thing. Because I mean, a lot of those
Pretty
games,
much let the fight come to you then.
yeah, let water be water.
Exactly. You have such an amazing amateur record, 23 fights. A lot of guys don't stick around the amateur circuit for 23 fights. Why have you stuck around for so long?
I had a good mentor. Ultimately teaching me that I can't learn something in a day or in a year. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people that are progressively, I mean, they might be very good within the amateur rankings, and then they choose to take the next step way too soon and messing up the pro ranking, the pro records within that. So it's like, I mean, on top of that, within the development of my martial arts career, it's also within my development of my personal life as well. I mean, a lot of people join martial arts because they haven't really had a personal growth within their individual self, so they're looking for a way to put that out somewhere else. But the development internally has never really grown with that, so they're just kind of pushing all that baggage in within another room. So that instance of it. So, I mean, I'm stuck around, gain what I can get, and just continue on learning and growing. And I mean, I have full faith and trust in my coach to let me know when the time is right, and it's coming to that point. So,
When did you start training over there with your head coach, your current coach? Who is that?
Clinton Radovich.
And you've been with Clinton for how long?
It's 8 years, I think.
Your entire fight career then?
Yeah.
So he's kind of groomed you to what you are today.
I'd say so. A mentor.
How's it been to have somebody like that in your corner? You always turn to, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's definitely been a blessing in disguise. On some days when it's raining, and some days when it's sunny. I mean, on rainy days you don't want to hear that straight talk, but sometimes you got to hear it, right?
Yeah. Well, it's good to have somebody who's going to cut it to you straight and not just have a bunch of yes men around you, because I feel like with yes men you're never really going to evolve. But if someone who's really going to take care of you and really cares about you, they're going to tell it to you like it is.
Yeah, and it's ultimately on that individual as well to just be humble and take that criticism and grow with it. And that's the hardest part within a lot of people in the rankings that are either progressively doing good and then continue doing good and then jumping on Facebook and having all these yeses all the way around and then having their ego, their head explode and not willing to accept that criticism from someone that has helped them out for so long.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like we even just talked to, or we didn't talk about it, but Aljamain Sterling just recently didn't have Matt Serra in his corner for his title fight. It was a strange situation because Matt Serra has literally been in his corner for every single one of his fights. So it was like a lot of people took it as almost a slap in the face to Matt Serra. Like, how do you walk away from somebody who got you to the dance?
Yeah, I mean, I've never really understood that.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, but I mean, everybody has their own their own means of life. I guess everyone's book is written differently.
Mm-hmm.
And some might not be right, but whatever their perception is and the way they want to lead it, let them be theirs and mine be mine in that aspect of it.
No, for sure.
It still doesn't, it still dawns on like, I don't understand how you could let somebody help you and put all that time and energy into your personal growth. And if that person has never really done you wrong and still wanting you to grow and do better, why would you kind of just throw them off to the curb?
Yeah, you would think that'd be the one person you want by your side the entire time.
Yeah.
It's your ace in the hole.
It's like how I talk to my mom every day because she's always on my side. Besides the fighting aspect, she don't like that.
You made a point earlier. Some guys turn pro and they take bad fights. They start losing. You also see that a lot in the UFC. Young pros who get the quick 5, 6-0, 7-0, and they'll jump straight to the UFC and get fed to the wolves. And they're 5-5 as soon as they're out of the UFC.
I mean, sometimes when the opportunity jumps, you don't know how to say no and let me come back to this because it's just such a sweet opportunity. It's like candy with kids. Not trying
I
to
can only imagine you've probably had tons of opportunities to turn professional already.
Yeah, but it's not my time yet. I mean, everything comes within strides.
100%. You are the number one featherweight and the number one lightweight on the U.S. West Coast. What does that mean to you?
Nothing.
I
I
like
mean,
that.
I've made a dent in something, but it's nothing to really be. It's I take it in as I've did something. I've made an accomplishment, but it's nowhere near anywhere that I want to be.
So we're just scratching the surface on Johnson Nasona.
Yeah, it's just the beginning.
Tell me a bit about your life, Johnson. Did you always grow up in Seattle?
No, I grew up. I was born in Africa, in Sudan.
Okay.
Moved up here when I was 6 years old or so. My mom and my older sister. My older sister right now is still over in Flagstaff, like the past 6 years in college. But we low income mom didn't really know how to speak English. I didn't know how to speak English. Of course, my sister didn't either. And we had this World Relief Services lady who actually kind of grew into our family, who I call my grandma now. She's like a surrogate grandma in some ways.
Hmm.
She helped my mom get her license, helped me do out math, and just basically get the fundamentals of the life in the U.S. I guess growing up was kind of a tough life with having a single mom and not having a pathway kind of set or understanding a pathway within how to live in the US. So the struggle within that is definitely led me to where I am today.
No, for sure. Obviously the struggle was hard, but you could tell that you brought yourself out of it. You're a very well-spoken young man. You wouldn't even guess that English was not your first language. I've had multiple conversations with you face to face, and I just feel like you're very well-spoken.
Yeah, it comes on with the reading. It's a funny thing. I never really liked reading when I was younger. My mom literally had to whoop my ass to get me to read a book or put me in a corner. And she'd have me with a notebook, and I'd get a book, and she'd just have me write out paragraphs and pages and pages and pages for my punishments, plus the initial whoopings, though. But I think I got more of the whoopings than everything else.
So pretty much everything worked out for you then, I guess, right? I mean, very literate young man.
Yeah, and just wanting growth and happiness. I feel like every day I wake up, it's I mean, my girlfriend sees this one. I don't feel that there's something that I've learned that day, or if I have failed. Because sometimes you go through a day, like I didn't fail. I didn't fail at all today. I didn't mess up. And a lot of people are happy with that, but with me, it's like, did I even try anything new today? Because I mean, even within failure, it's a little bit saddening. But in that aspect where you're at, all right, I did something wrong. What can I learn? What can I grow? Or where did I end up like it's I, more stories. I like to go out and try new things, and I like to fail and then learn from it and grow. And yeah, it's just
Yeah, man, you could tell like you've obviously taken that same type of attitude, applied it to your MMA career, and you've just flourished ever since your very first fight to this fight. You could just tell the growth in you, and you haven't stopped growing.
yeah. So my very first fight was it? I think it was I fought Jonathan Pico in Hawaii,
Hmm.
and my coach wanted to test my toughness. And this kid was like, he's had 5 straight fights prior, and every single person he's fought has gotten knocked out. I go in there, and John McCarthy was the ref. Sitting there, and this kid's beating the brakes off of me for 3 rounds straight. And every single time my coach wanted to throw in the towel, I'm sitting there with my thumbs up, like, no, not yet. We're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. I'm fine. I'm fine. At the end of the fight, I come out and my jaw's dislocated. I couldn't even get my mouthpiece out of my mouth. And the doctors over there, this lady was freaking out. And like in my head, like you're supposed to be a ringside doctor.
You should have already seen shit like this.
Yeah, goes trying to get my coach. My coach looks back at her like, he's fine. Just deal with it. That'll probably be my favorite corner story.
Obviously, have you broken your jaw a lot, or was that just a one-time thing, or just dislocated?
Just dislocated. It was just like a little bit off. I think it was mostly because of the swelling right in that jaw muscle. Because it
Mm,
wasn't the next day. It was fine, just a little bit tender. It wasn't like I had to pop it all the way in. Probably,
yeah.
yeah. But I mean, all the way throughout my years, I've never really had any injuries besides the scratches here and there from training or the minor aches and possible sprains here and there, but nothing really too hectic within it.
After that fight, you win one, then you lose another one to Zach Lane, and then you just go on a freaking tear, man. Tell me, what do you contribute to obviously flipping that switch and just going on a huge tear in your career?
Learning how to turn the switch on and off.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest thing in between my two losses was being able to go in the cage and be like, all right, this is a fight. You're not my friend. Because I'm a genuinely nice individual and I don't want to cause harm or put harm on others. And it took a while to understand that, all right, I don't really have to be mad at this person. We're just here and it's a combative standing and we're just going to have fun. As soon as I learned how to have that switch on and off, it's like, all right, now let's do it. And that's when the smile started to come out everywhere.
Yeah, put that cowboy hat and just smile at him.
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you. So you threw a little head kick at me, maybe at like 20%, right? If that thing would have landed, that thing would have put me to sleep. Legitimately, like scary power. I mean, for somebody your size, I feel like there's not a man out there that you probably couldn't take out.
Man, I'd say my coach. But I mean, it's one of those things we've been doing a lot because within a lot of my strikes prior, I'd always throw a whole bunch of power and it'll be telegraphed and not initiating that little speed and not power, but bringing that punch or that kick up just to test and then following through with something else. I mean, it's almost like I've been watching a lot. I don't watch that many fights.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like within my time, I take in whatever my coach says and I put it in the gym and apply it, and then focus a lot of my other energy and time in with my girlfriend, life, and work. But like Adesanya, it's just I just gotta touch him. Just gotta touch him. So I mean, incorporating that a lot more and trying to take away what I did when we were sparring, is trying to throw a whole bunch of power in there. So it's in the works, and we'll see if I can win this fight.
A beautiful blend of both those, man.
Yeah.
How do you envision this fight happening?
I think we're gonna stand up for like 2 rounds, or possibly the first round, stand up and strike. And I mean, Montana's a wrestling state, or they try to be a wrestling state in that aspect of it. And I think the kid is going to try to take me down and use some of his grappling skills, but I don't see his takedowns being that very successful.
Mm-hmm.
Probably keep it standing. Second round, depending on how I feel, probably a takedown throughout. But I'm going to try to tear his body apart, tear his mind apart, and take it all 5 rounds. Have fun with it.
Just go in there and just physically overwhelm him.
Yeah, just tear him apart and take his soul out. I don't know. Make him tired.
Take his soul. I like that. Obviously, I know you're not looking past Mikey. What is the future, though? I know you have tons of amateur titles around there. You have the Tough Enough title. What's the future for like?
I mean, before we accepted this fight, there's this promotion over in Abu Dhabi that asked me to go out there and make my pro debut out for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's a possibility for right after this to start getting a training camp for that and then fly overseas and go compete over there.
Listen, I will come be in your corner. I'm trying to go to Abu Dhabi too. Abu Dhabi seems like a fun place to make your pro debut, man. That's a huge accomplishment.
I don't know. I mean, my coach is Marcelo, my jiu-jitsu professor. They said, all right, if you go over there, there's a lot of princes. So go out there and have fun. Make a good show, and the bonus to give like $50,000 bonus. Like, I'm gonna go out there with my country music, put a smile on, dance all the way out there, and keep smiling, and then we'll see what kind of performance I give out.
Hell yeah, man! I don't think they're ready for you out there in Abu Dhabi, man.
Hey, it's gonna be brand new.
Now, Montana, man, I'm excited. I will be there in the house. We're going to be covering the fights. I believe Dario has a couple. We have Professor going to be in his corner. Christian's going to be in his corner. So we'll have some crew down there with you. So we'll definitely be watching that main event, man. We're super excited for it.
Hell yeah. I'm glad to see you guys all there.
No, for sure. It's going to be good times again. And I don't want to take too much more of your time today, brother. I know how busy you are, just winding down training camp, trying to get focused on next Saturday. Before I let you go, though, I want to give you an opportunity to give a shout out to your sponsors, teammates, loved ones, anyone that's really helped you along your MMA journey.
I mean, also, I just want to give a shout out to my girlfriend, who's probably passed out in the living room right now, and my parents, Clinton Radovich, my coach, Marcelo Alonso, and on top of that, my company, JBM Remodeling. LLC, because also without my company, I wouldn't be able to have the freedom that I have today to be able to travel. You guys train, come back, and just be able to train 3 times a day and come back and relax. So it's a blessing, and it's been a long, hard road, but we're here today.
If I'm in the Seattle, Washington area and I need some remodeling done, where can I go to look for your services?
Ultimately, if you just go on Google and put JBM Remodeling, you find us there, or head over to the east side and find a nice little office over in Factory Mall area.
Excellent, man.
Or just look out for fans traveling around.
What all do you guys do out there for your company? What all do you remodel? Everything? Tear a whole house down, rebuild it?
We do a whole house rebuilds and new construction as well. Right now, we're working with a couple interior design companies to do just complete luxury homes, kitchen remodels and bathroom remodels. We have one huge one over in Stanwood right now, which our electrical department completely wired out, and it's a full home automated system. So within each room you go to, talk to Alexa and tell her to turn the lights on, tell them to dim like Alexa, dim the lights down 50% and leave the front back lights on or back left corner on, and 3 lights. Like it's pretty awesome. Wanted to go a little bit higher, but put pressure plated flooring while you're going up the steps, so then you have your LED kind of lightings to kind of segue your way up. But the contractor didn't have the funds for it, so. But I'm still waiting for that one customer that says, just build me my dream house, because I will.
Or you just build your own dream house for yourself, sir.
I'm gonna build it myself. I'm gonna keep that to myself. The whole world, only people that visit my house will know how it looks.
Hell yeah. Hey, listen, as long as there's some mats in the garage, I'm down.
Hey, there'll always be mats in the garage, but we'll leave it in the living room as well. A little pop-up mats, right?
Sure. Perfect. That's all we need, man. Right. Well, I will see you next Saturday. Thank you for your time, man, and I can't wait to watch your fight.
Definitely can't wait to see you as well.
Before I let you go, though, where can the fans find you on social media?
JN Black Lightning on Instagram, and Johnson Nasona over on Facebook, and Johnson at Black Lightning Nasona.
There you guys have it. Next weekend, Billings, Montana, Fusion Fight League. The fight is on Fight TV. I believe it's $19.99 for the pay-per-view. Johnson Nasona in the main event. Watch it, because listen, this kid right here is the future of MMA. Don't blink, and it's going to be an amazing show.
Excitement. Can't wait.
For sure. I'll see you in, 7 days now. You have a good one, man.
You too, buddy.